don't step on your laptop.
Hey,
Hello,
it's me.
hello.
It is, I guess, officially season 2 of the Friends of the British Reality little series. And guess who gets to start us off? Miss D Jones of DStill.co.
Hello.
Hey, and if you haven't gone to her site, her Instagram, you see that bar that's behind her. Her grandfather built for her, and I just think that's so.
Yes,
So, D,
indeed he did.
this is your chance to share some of the things you're dealing with today or working on right now. So go ahead and take
Um,
it and let us know
I
what are you
didn't.
on right now.
You said that you know what?
Oh, go ahead and tell us what you're working on right now.
Oh, well, there's a couple things I'm working on that I can't exactly say. I didn't know I was giving a list of like stuff I was working on, but I mean, I'm doing my usual with Seal Box. Of course, we've got single barrels out just about two, like every month or so. So that's always fun. If you don't keep up with Seal Box, you probably should. We have a text group um, that you can sign up for on the website. Gives you early access to a lot of our limited release stuff. So if you're
Mm-hmm.
into that type of thing, it is worth it to sign up. Um, what else? I mean, Chocolate City's best. We've got Beyond the Bar coming up, of course. We're going to be highlighting all Black women this year, which is great. So really excited about that. We've
Awesome.
got we've got our scholarship that the application is actually the deadline for that application is tomorrow, and that
Okay.
is a scholarship for a person of color, obviously in hospitality, looking to further their education. You are getting a sponsored WSET, I think 1 and 2
Oh, wow.
class and certification. So that is
Okay.
exciting. Deadline for that is tomorrow. If anybody is still interested in doing that. But what else? I mean, Distilled, we're just growing, building,
Uh,
writing.
no, no, not just growing, but go to the WSET. So for
Hmm.
those who may not be familiar, let's talk a bit more about that because you went through that as well, right? So
Yeah,
tell us
I
about
just got certified for level 2. We're about to start level 3.
awesome.
And then at some point, we will, by we, I mean myself, Capri, Mike, and a couple of others will actually be going through the educator's course too. So we'll be able to teach our good people. So I'm very
Awesome.
excited about that. But WSET, people who aren't aware of what that even stands for, it is what wine and spirits education and training, if I'm not mistaken. Um, and it is a series of, I think it's what, 3 levels for both wine and for spirits. And then I think there's a course where you can combine the two and do it all in one. And at each level, you're going through the process of learning about different spirits, learning about wines, learning about the process of making them, learning about the proper way to taste them.
Hmm.
And by the end of it, after you've gone through all of the modules and tastings and done all the things, you take an exam, you pass, you get certified. You don't, you pay for it and do it all over again.
Right.
Like anything else school wise, pretty much.
Right, right.
Yeah.
So I saw where I've seen the coursework at least from an outsider's view. It
Mm.
is very in depth. Like I'm right now finishing my bar smarts, but I see that WSET is way more in depth.
That's
Um,
bar smarts on steroids.
yeah, okay.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think
Because bar
it's well,
smarts is not. It was bar smarts is like if you just read through the material, it's pretty straightforward.
mhm,
I mean, same thing with WSET, but it's there's an online portion to it, and courses and modules that you go through, and then there's the actual textbook part, and you have to actively like soak in both. You can't
mhm.
just do one or the other. So it is definitely a lot more in depth than bar smarts. I haven't done advanced, which is the in person experience with bar smarts, where you're actually going through all of the things and tasting and learning from I think what David Wondrich and Dale DeGroff and all them. But yeah, it's
Yeah,
it's a lot. I can't imagine having to do this course in person.
right. It's like, don't watch me. I'm trying. Give me a
Yeah,
chance.
it's fun though. It's definitely I'm learning a lot.
I think it's so important, especially for people who are interested in moving into the hospitality industry or learning more about, how to build a cocktail. Why would I choose one spirit over the other? They kind of understand the history behind, you
Yeah.
know, the spirits, or at least understanding how they're made, so that you can kind of understand the taste profiles and how to really talk about them. I think is
Mhm.
so important as far as like getting that education. And so I commend you for that, and for others who are trying to do the same thing. So I want to make sure I put that information as well for those who are looking to advance their education in that realm, whether it be through the Bar Smarts program, WSET, and others as well. I think world class is the Diageo. I don't know if
Mhm.
I'm saying it right, but I just signed up for
Yeah,
that
Diageo.
in line with what they're doing to see if I want to go that route as well for additional
Mhm.
education opportunity as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's worth it because I mean, you can never be too educated. So
Right.
I say
Exactly.
do all the things if you have the opportunity to do so. I didn't. I did one session with the Diageo World Class situation. That was like them preparing you to enter into the competition. So they
Mm,
take you through all these different modules and stuff. The only thing about doing things like that when you're doing it through a brand is that they're only going to educate you through their spirits that they offer.
okay.
Whereas courses like Bar Smarts and WSET don't have any brand loyalty. You're
Yeah.
just learning about the topic as a whole, which gives you more of a variety of things to kind of like compare and contrast through.
Right, like going from fermentation to distillation and how that all works and why
Yeah,
and the different methods, whether it's column or pot still, and understanding, the history behind that and what
yeah,
region started that. Like that's fascinating to me. So
yeah.
yeah, if people out there that are interested in understanding more about that, I mean, obviously, yes, you can probably Google some of it, but as far as getting certification and really understanding the topics and learning from actual industry leaders
Yeah,
is so important.
it's definitely worth it.
Yeah.
And look for
So,
opportunities like our scholarship and stuff, because a lot of times a deterrent is going to be the cost of these type of things. I know WSET was on my list to do before getting the opportunity to um, for them to give us a scholarship to actually go through the process. But it was like on my list for like a year or two down the line because it's over $1,000 per course. So
mm,
not everybody can do that, especially if you're working in hospitality. So definitely capitalize on opportunities where people are offering to pay you essentially to learn or pay for you to learn.
exactly. And tell everyone the link actually right now, and then I'll make sure to put the link in the show notes as well.
Cool. So you can find the link. Well, go to chuckseasbest.com and it should be under opportunities. And then you can also just go to our Instagram, hit the link in our bio, and it'll take you straight to it also.
Okay. So yeah, so I do have Chocolate City's Best in the show notes right now. So if you click on that, folks, then go to the opportunity section. You should be able to find information. But I
Yeah.
also double check and make sure that I add little notes in the after post and things as well.
Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. So I want to know or tell us more about these stills. I saw the video and kind of like the preparation for getting started and getting back into the groove of things. I think the one video I saw was we did it in November, so I think there's been stuff going on since then. But tell
Mhm.
us a bit more about these stills, and especially in your area, what you want people to know more about. Your in-person opportunities or your virtual cocktail expression as well.
So yeah, so that was November. That was the last in person thing that
Okay.
I've been able to do. I miss doing parties in person, but yeah, that time lapse videos is essentially a good representation of kind of what the process is like. We come
Yeah.
in and build the whole bar experience from scratch, pretty much. Come in with all my own tables, decor, cloths. For that particular one, I did glassware, um, and yeah, just everything. And I miss it so much. But I mean, the virtual stuff is fun. I've gotten a lot of virtual stuff this year, which I wasn't even expecting because it wasn't something I was actively promoting. Um,
Mm-hmm.
which is nice that people are even willing to just ask if that's something you're willing to do. So I think it's pretty cool. I offer it now as an official service, but yeah, it's been a lot of fun. Each one is different. I still do the whole elaborate setup for each class, of course. And either the client already knows kind of what they want to do in terms of cocktails, or I'm completely coming up with everything and sending a list of things for everyone to get and be prepared for. And we have a lot of fun. We play games. Sometimes I'll do some like spirits and cocktails related trivia and things like that, or clients
Mhm.
will have their own games and things they want to play. It's been very interesting to see how creative people get with how to entertain themselves in the middle
Right.
of a panoramic.
And it's really funny though because the one that I did for my full-time job,
Mhm.
we added not only the little history behind Scotch because the retiree was a lover of Scotch, so I did a little thing about, the different regions of Scotland and the
Mhm.
different expressions and why. But then I went into the cocktail and why I created a cocktail for that person based on their profile. But we did a quiz and a giveaway. And what's crazy, like you don't think about it in advance how much fun you can actually have in these like settings, these virtual
Yeah.
settings. But you really can, especially if people really engage and really interested in what you're doing. But also they come engage as well, right?
Mhm.
Because they're really like, okay, I really want to have a cocktail. I want to really want to express or have fun with my friends. All those different things. So the virtual cocktail experience has been a really good thing, especially in what we're dealing with right now.
Yeah.
In that you're still able to express, you're still able to have that fun. You just can't be in the same room. But also, like right now, I'm in Atlanta, Georgia, and you are in the DMV DC area. And
Yeah.
so we're able to have this conversation right now. Like, what if we weren't doing these right now? You would be in your own space, I would be in my own space. And so I
Yeah.
really think there's a blessing and a curse in all of this. Being
Yeah,
able to meet
definitely. For sure.
people.
A lot of my virtual classes have been from clients who are not based here at all. I've gotten a lot of referrals to people who are out of state.
Yeah,
So that's been really cool. I do like
yeah.
that aspect of it. And people, honestly, people are really enjoying just being in the comfort of their home and being able to still socialize with their friends and not having to be like that antisocial friend that doesn't want to leave the house. Like, I think a lot of hermits are living their best life right now.
Yeah, like you have those friends, right? Invite me, invite me. Keep calling me. I'm not gonna show up though.
But
Keep
I was
calling.
gonna say, but I may not show up.
Right, right,
But now those friends are showing up.
right. Because they can, and you're like, okay, I got my snuggie, I got my house shoes on.
Yeah,
You don't know what else I got on, but you see this cute little top though, right?
exactly. I love that I can get cute and not put heels on because there's no reason to wear shoes. It's great.
Right.
I definitely
Uh,
like that I can do my job and not have to put on shoes.
exactly. Or
Yeah,
my flip. Have
it's
my
good.
little flip flops. So remember in our last conversation we brought up the bar book.
We did.
We did.
I
And
noticed that.
and I didn't realize it at first, like when you had signed up for today. I didn't even think about it because I actually have for our winter box, this will be in there for our subscribers.
Oh,
But
nice.
look what Mr. Jeffrey did for me.
Oh, you got it signed.
Yeah. So
Cool.
there are signed copies in the winter box.
Oh yeah, that's sweet. That's a good
And
box.
so if you guys have not seen the last video we did, it was actually New Year's Eve.
Mhm.
And we were discussing what book would you want or would you recommend to someone who's interested in learning more about how to build a cocktail or the industry itself and
Mhm.
what came up. And we both were like, yeah, the bar book is the
Exactly.
red and black book, right? And so that's the book.
Mhm. That's
And then
cool.
I thought, well, let me do my little magic and let me make some contacts. Ta! And so I thought, let me go get this because we had talked about it a month and a half ago. Here it is. And now my subscribers will have a copy of it too as well.
Nice. Are you
Awesome.
gonna make a cocktail from it? You're not sipping anything.
Oh, you know what? I'm not. And I could actually.
They've got all the classics in there.
Hmm I'm out of tequila though because I already experimented with this particular shrub from Shrubwell. I want you to see the name for
Oh,
my
which one is that one?
So this is pineapple, tamarind, and ancho.
Oh, that sounds good.
It's amazing. And we just confirmed finally the actual delivery of these. So this will also be in the winter box. But let me go grab my glass. Hold on. I'm probably going to do something neat.
I've been in the mood for daiquiris.
Huh?
I've been in the mood for daiquiris.
Huh.
Love daiquiris.
I do have. No. Did I bring all my Robin color? I did.
So is your bar essentially in your kitchen?
Sorry?
So is your bar in your kitchen?
Yep. This whole half of this counter until I get my own little bar section. So yeah, so my roommate's kind of like, okay, I gotta eat, and I'm like, what? I gotta drink.
Yeah, you gotta have space for both.
Right. So it's a compromise. So I think what I'm going to do. Let me get this out the way. What did you do? Where's my little tongue?
Yeah, that syrup sounds delicious.
Hmm?
I said that syrup sounds delicious that you have.
It does. I must have my tongues in my dishwasher. Well, never mind. I'll get it out myself. So, glassware shopping got me an additional ball glass. What do I want to do? I got limes too. Hold on.
Ooh.
While I'm getting this, tell us more about your grandfather's handiwork.
He is an artist, and that is probably an understatement. He does amazing work. My granddad just has so he's an engineer, just career wise, but he has a huge passion just for woodwork, period. Reupholstering furniture, creating furniture. In my house that I was living in DC before I moved this year, he did a whole custom build out kind of entertainment hub for our living room, for our TV to go in and books to go around it and stuff. He's amazing with the work that he can do. Just he comes up with ideas and just executes. He created a wood shop in his basement, and so every day that's just what he's doing. It's great. He actually just created a second bar for me to put in on my third floor. So I'll be posting about that one soon.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this is one I'm working on.
Ooh,
Yeah.
she's about to shake up.
I haven't given her a name yet.
Okay.
But she's kind of awesome. And make sure. Lime. Okay. And then I got pomegranate juice. Not fresh squeezed today, but they're over there.
Mm-hmm.
All right. One more thing. And yes, so I want to learn and really learn how to make my own project. So I got
orgeat. It's a process. I have made my own orgeat one time. It is a process. It's not like a long process, but it's not as easy just making good old regular simple syrup.
Right, exactly.
It's worth it though. It's yummy.
You see me? Make sure all this is out of the way. Yeah, when I get a
Looks like
better.
you're doing a tiki cocktail over there.
So what?
I said, look like you're making a tiki cocktail.
A little bit. It's a little bit. So let me just tell you what's in it. So it's the shrubwell, pineapple, tamarind, ancho shrub. And this is what I love about it. So typically with your shrubs, people typically use like your apple cider or just like straight white vinegar. Theirs is actually rice vinegar and we got white wine vinegar, rice vinegar, and coconut vinegar.
Oh, nice.
So it's not so punchy in your face, and it's a bit more.
I've used coconut vinegar and shrub before, and for my citrus shrubs I'll use like champagne vinegar.
Nice. So yeah, and so for me, when I find gems like that, because I've not made my own shrubs yet. But when I find gems where people have kind of done variations, I'm like, whoa, wait, I want to learn more about that. So I've been able to speak with the guys. It's a couple actually. I forgot her name, but it's Chris Marks. They're gonna kill me for that. Sorry, but it's the couple behind Snowbells. They're very busy, but they do great things. All right, so we're gonna do our lime juice first.
And does the shrub have a little kick to it with the ancho?
Not that much, no.
Okay.
So it's more of a pineapple tamarind, so it's a little bit more on the sweeter side, not so much on the hot side. But that's why I was saying it's a little bit more sublime with the type of vinegar that they're using and the ingredients. So it's not like a punch.
Okay.
All right, let's see. So for that, this is one of my limes. So we're going to do one whole mid-sized lime. Before I used 2 tiny ones when I was practicing with this before. Give me some lime juice.
What measurement of lime juice are you going for with the, or are you not measuring it? You just kind of going with.
So I'm not measuring the lime juice because in my, so roughly about an ounce, but it's pretty much 2 parts, 1 part of jet, and 0.75 parts.
Okay. What kind of rum are you using?
So it is your plantation double.
Oh, that's what it looked like. Okay.
But it's a double aged rum.
Okay.
So not my typical. I usually go to barbecue because I love barbecue.
I've actually never had plantation rum aged.
Sorry?
I've never had plantation rum aged.
Oh.
Yeah. Gotta try that.
All right. So this is 1.5. Orchid. And again, we're using store-bought pomegranate today because it is a difficult process. I won't say difficult, but if you've been working all day, you don't have time to do any fresh squeezed pomegranate. But I do have some for later. 0.75.
I keep a bottle of pomegranate in my refrigerator. I'm typically not buying pomegranates to juice on a regular basis because I make my own grenadine. So having pomegranate juice by the bottle is just convenient.
Yeah. But you're saying you keep a bottle of fresh squeeze or a bottle?
I keep a bottle of pomegranate juice, not fresh squeeze. I'm not buying a bunch of pomegranates to fresh squeeze them. That gets expensive.
My friend had this the other day, actually, and she was like, this is amazing because she's not a big pineapple person, so she was in love with it. But the one thing I have to do to really like confirm and solidify this is my garnish. So I'm still working on that.
Okay.
So I'm open to suggestions based on what we have. I've considered like some candy pineapple or some type of coconut variation. Like I'm really big on edible garnishes, so I really want something that you don't just place to the side, but that you can experience and eat.
What about like a dried pineapple ring that you could like dip in something with a little spice to it? Since the ancho doesn't really bring out much kick, you can add kick to the garnish for people who actually want that.
Now, why do we apply our ice after the fact instead of before? Because we don't want to over dilute our cocktail while we're shaking it. Okay. All right, let's see how this looks. Actually, you know what? I'm going to use my larger glass. This is what I was using before. Because I like the look of it so you can really see it. I want you to really see the look of it. All right, so again, this is my cocktail, so my hands are all over it.
Mhm.
All done with that.
So, what inspired your choices in ingredients for the cocktail?
So, one, first I would start with this because remember my cocktail boxes feature ingredients from third-party vendors. So when I bought their actual set of 4 different shrubs, one, I was inspired by this because of the pineapple and the tamarind because I'm really trying to understand the flavors of tamarind for myself. And so then I said, okay, now what would I do with it? So I knew it would be a rum-inspired cocktail, right? And I also was wanting to experiment with almond-based syrups. I got some amaretto as well if I wanted to go the spirit route. And so then I went and purchased this and thought, let me kind of meld it together and see what will happen. And so then the pomegranate came in as well. And I knew I had to cut it down with some lime. So that's kind of how it happened. And then it actually
What led
worked.
you to rum? The fact that it was pineapple in the shrub?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I think a pineapple wheel on that would be pretty.
We'll get that going.
I think so, with a little chili something on it.
See my tools as I go. Yeah. So yeah, so it is kind of in the tiki family, but I'm still learning more about that because there is a competition from Home Bar Awards of
Oh, nice.
stirred cocktails. So if you're interested, you can go to their Instagram and join that if you want to
Okay, cool.
participate. So I think, especially participating in cocktail competitions, you have an opportunity to kind of learn and really force yourself to do things that you probably wouldn't do before. So
Definitely a good way to force yourself out there, for sure.
exactly. You
That's
ready?
definitely a tiki cocktail. Looks
Mm-hmm.
good. It's got all the tiki elements.
So it's very sublime. You get more of the pineapple and the coconut, but you got a bit of the almond that kind of comes in. So it's kind of a sweet variation. And so
Mhm.
it's delicious. And so I'm excited to actually have this in our winter box as well,
Cool.
along with our book, along with the Bitters Lab Fig and Walnut Bitters.
Oh, wow.
And if you know Miss Chrissy from Charismatic Creations, we will also be featuring one of her infusions as well.
Cool. Okay.
I'm really excited about that.
Cool.
Yeah, I love it. I didn't think I was gonna make it again because I was gonna wait and finish the book part, but shoot, I'm done. Because it's delicious. So, anything else you want people to know about Distilled? Any thoughts about just this month in general, Black History Month, that you want to share, things that you kind of work on?
Hmm. Um, when it comes to Black History Month, I mean, I celebrate Black people all year, so
Exactly.
I don't the same way I do cute shit with my wife all year. Valentine's Day
Oh,
is great, but it's like, you know, it's not like extra exciting when it's Valentine's Day. The same way it's not extra exciting that it's Black History Month because I'm already celebrating Black people anyway.
yeah.
But
Wait.
I mean, cash out a Black person this month, support their business, Venmo,
Right.
just pay Black people. I'm all for that all February. Um, but
But
yeah, yes,
I have messed up.
you did.
I messed up
And
because
what?
I was supposed to start off with congratulations.
Oh. Well, thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
You want to do the
Sure. Hold on.
thing? Okay.
I
Somebody got me married. Yes. No, and I
I
told
want
myself,
to drag her over here and show you her ring because I'm proud of hers too, but I'm gonna keep it cute.
like, God, doggy, how did I? That's
Okay,
my
so
fault.
I'm not gonna keep it.
Hi.
Other
Oh,
way, other way.
I see it. Congratulations to the both of you. Yes.
Thank you.
That was the first thing to come out of my mouth. Shame on me. Shame
That's so
on
good. I
me.
appreciate it.
Because I was downstairs, like, let me make sure. Bring up the back. All right. They put a ring on it.
Yeah.
That's my fault. So,
No,
yeah.
it's all good.
Yep. But yeah, but as far as Black History Month, you're right. I mean, daily. If we live this day to day,
Yeah, exactly.
we're looking to make sure, everybody's like, are you good? I got your back. You need some help. Hopefully that's our day to day already. And then of course when February turns around, now first of all, it is my birthday month, so I'm already like lit about that. Then it's Black History Month, so then what do people typically say? I'm blackity black. I'm blacker.
Are you
Whatever.
Aquarius or Pisces?
Pisces.
You Aquarius, Pisces, okay.
Pisces. February 23rd, so next Tuesday.
23rd. Got it. Okay. Fine.
Yeah, I already get this. Yep. Now so typically what I do for my birthday is that I have a list of events for the whole month for people like participate in whenever they want to. They have the time.
Yeah. I celebrate my birthday all month too.
Huh?
Not that I celebrate all month too.
Exactly. But because it's been an interesting month. And
because it's retrograde.
The virtual, well,
it's because it's retrograde.
Yes, that too. So let me walk away for a second. Yes, you were absolutely right. It's the best time to go get any type of exam because you'll be able to like see things better, clearer, or more things become more exposed. So I had one of those tests yesterday, so that was a good thing, right? Keep your health in check. But on top of that, okay, Mercury retrograde, birthday month, Black History Month, right? And so for my birthday, I still haven't put together a list, and I don't know why. But one of the things I really miss, though, is the Alvin Ailey show that comes down every year in February. Because, they can't but they have other things they do virtually. And so I figured, well, let me make sure people support them in that way. So I got to sit down and just rethink what else I'm going to do for the rest of the month, especially next week because I'm off. But typically, it's a whole list. I was in New York last year, right before all this shut down.
I was in New York in February last year. That was like the last thing we did before we had to just be in the house for a year.
Yeah.
We was on a trip to New York. I'm glad we did that much at least.
Right. Like, I'm glad at least I got that in.
That was already spur of the moment.
Me too. Because
New York is like the best spur of the moment trip. Like, you just pop over there and train real quick.
Yeah. Yeah, and luckily I got friends up there. So like, okay, who's available? What do you want to do? Let's go see a movie. Let's go get something to eat. Or just hanging out in like little spots around town. The name I did the last time, I forget the name of the hot dog place, but I have never eaten that many hot dogs in my life. But it was just fun.
It was a Crip Dog? I think it's called Crip Dogs. It was a Crip Dog?
It's the yellow and red storefronts. They're usually on little corners of like square.
Okay. Oh, it's not that one because I'm thinking of the place that's attached to PDT.
No, it has several. I was in. That's all. My friends are in Harlem, but I stayed down. I think it's Soho. I don't remember, but I know the hotel I got in. It's a Marriott.
I stayed at a really nice Marriott hotel in Manhattan when we went last year. It was great.
Now I want to go back and look it up because I know because whenever I go back, that's where I'm going to stay. But all of a sudden, I can't remember the name of it. Hold on.
It's been so long.
Well, true, and I don't
like a whole panorama out here.
Because they have the little travel bonus thing. Come on, I'm gonna find it because I think people should actually patronize it because it's pretty. It's a boutique
Okay.
volunteer hotel, so it's really nice. I'm gonna find it. Should be in my app. Okay. Anyway, I'm gonna go spend that time on that. All right. So, all right. Let's do a speed round.
Okay.
You ready?
Last little. Yeah.
And did you do a classic daiquiri or you do something fancy?
I do a classic. I mean, today I just switched it up a tiny bit because instead of simple syrup, I did oleo saccharum. So
Okay.
it changes the texture a little bit,
Mm.
having like straight sugar and oil instead of sugar and water. But other than that, it's classic. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. Uh-oh. I put my thumbprint. Okay. I'll look at it. All right. What is the most annoying thing that your wife does?
Doesn't put anything back the way she found it. Nothing.
I don't hear her. She didn't say anything. Okay.
Oh, I have headphones in.
Oh, okay.
I am getting the look though.
Oh man. Okay.
It wasn't my fault. The question was, what was the most annoying thing that you did? Okay.
Cool. But it's funny. It's good. It's a good thing to
It's all in good fun. It's fun.
Right. Okay. I already know your favorite spirit, mezcal, right? What is your favorite mezcal cocktail?
Ooh, Naked and Famous. So good. So
Naked and famous.
it's equal parts. It's almost like the last word, but with mezcal and instead of green chartreuse, it's yellow chartreuse. So
Okay.
it's mezcal, lime, I think Aperol, and yellow chartreuse, equal parts served up. So good.
Wow. Okay.
It's really, really good. And a
Awesome.
spicy mezcal margarita is a very close
Mm.
second. I probably will order that more often than I order Naked and Famous, but I love Naked and Famous cocktails.
Nice. Okay. Let me think of another one. Because this is going to be off the cuff. Okay. If you had a choice, where would you move to today and live out the rest of your life?
Monaco.
Okay. Why?
Monaco.
Why?
Because it's pretty. It's like the views are great. It's right by the water. You can overlook the water. It's very much my style. I will be in Europe just regardless. Um, but I just want to like France in general, but I know that I wouldn't do Paris. And I've actually been to Monaco and is able to like experience the area and get the vibes and things, and I like it. It very much speaks to my personality. And it's just kind of like my fantasy place to live if I weren't here in the US.
Mm. And who would you today, I won't say dead or alive, but who from history past
Hmm.
would you want to sit down and have a nice coffee and just listen to them talk about their lives?
Ooh, Dick Francis, because so Richard, Uncle Dick Francis. Let's give him his whole title. So for anyone who's not familiar with him, he was a freed slave
Mm-hmm.
who went from being a slave to then working as a bartender here in DC at Hancock's, which is on Pennsylvania Avenue, long, long ago. He wound
Mm-hmm.
up actually working to the point where he bought Hancock's. He was able to put his son through school with what he was doing at Hancock's. And I think at one point his son actually bought it out, took it over, or something like that.
Yeah.
But
I read that. Mm-hmm.
just to hear the history, one, of DC and the DC bar scene, and really get the true kind of story and details behind the actual contributions of Black people to the hospitality industry here in DC, because it was built on the backs of Black people in general anyway. So I would love to sit there and just listen to him talk about all the shit that went down in the DC bar scene before it was a scene, and it was more so just a way to survive and make sure your kids stayed free and
Right.
educated and all the things. So back when it was like, I mean, it's a survival and not just a really fun job. I would love to hear that perspective for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Yeah.
what is one key thing within the industry that you think so many people have a misconception about that you want to set straight today?
In terms of the industry, like bar industry or
Yeah.
hospitality industry,
Mhm.
misconception. Oh.
Mhm.
That it's not a sustainable career. There's definitely a misconception that if you choose to make a living for yourself, either behind the bar or even as a server, like people look at being a server as like, oh, poor you sometimes. Like just depending on your vantage point, they're looking at it like it's not a real job, but like you're not learning something every time. Now, quality server, because I'm talking from a perspective of like working in steakhouses and hotel bars and things like that, where like the training is rigorous and there's a lot of shit you need to know, and
Right.
you're learning an entire library of wine, and you've got a cellar back there that you've got to memorize, and you've got to be able to talk about each and every one, or
Mhm.
not each and every one, because that's what you have a psalm for, but you've got to know a lot as a server of a quality establishment that
Mhm.
actually cares about the experience that they're creating for their guests. There's a lot of shit you have to know, and you've got to not necessarily be passionate about it to be good at it, but you've got to care.
Mhm.
And that, I mean, that's the only way you're going to make a living from it. But for people to like undermine it as if it's like this throwaway job, I think is just crap. And it's definitely a misconception that people still kind of have, particularly certain types of guests that think they're like doing you a favor with their patronage.
Yeah, like it's not charity. Like we are, people
Yeah,
there.
it's not charity work. Like I'm doing a job just like you. You just my job happens to be being a part of an experience that's created for you, but it's not it's not like I'm here being abused and like tossed pennies though. We could kind of argue that we are. That's a whole
Yeah,
other conversation. But
yeah,
yeah,
and that's
that'd
why I
probably
love.
be the biggest one for me.
Yeah,
What's
and
that?
that's what I love as far as like a cocktail enthusiast, I guess. Right,
Mm-hmm.
is really understanding and having a respect for all the knowledge that people already have, and just being able to sit and listen and talk and learn from people like you and others, right? To understand more about, what it really takes to really be, good in this arena, whether it's, spirits educator, a distiller, a brewer, uh, mixologist, whatever it may be, and then really bringing it from the forefront, especially through my box, kind of like, hey, here's more information about. Yes, you may have found this online, but here's the process that went behind and building it. And here's the philosophy that the person came to the bottle with, so you understand the power and the passion that came behind that before you received it
Yeah. And
through
the
the mail.
education. I mean, the thing is, people can go to school for hospitality. Like, people go to school for hospitality management. I have a PR and business degree. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I just decided that once I got out of school that I really love bartending, and that was really a thing, and I really love spirits. And so I just was intentional about making it a point to be in hospitality and figure out how to make that work as a actual living. But it's
Mm-hmm.
not like, oh, I like everyone who's behind a bar must be a college dropout or something like that, or just wasn't able to get it together and just wound up behind the bar. Like I just don't like that whole thought process about it, which
Yeah,
I've learned is still very much a thing,
and I think
despite all of the proof that's there that's
I
not the
was about
case.
to say, I was about to say because I feel like so many people have been examples of beyond that misconception,
Yeah.
the experts, the knowledge, being at the
Well, but
forefront.
the thing is, quarantine, one of the major things that it's taught us is that society is very much shaped by hospitality,
Mm-hmm.
the entire industry. We're shaped by hotels, by bars, by the restaurants. All of that stuff contributes to the way we live, function, and entertain ourselves throughout our everyday life. So none of that is done lightly or
Exactly.
ignorantly. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Just a matter of not taking
give us our flowers while we're here. God damn
it. Yes.
it.
And what's so funny? Jamal here in Atlanta, the bearded bartender, will be on Saturday. And the one thing that he and his mom had talked about was the fact that people are always going to want to eat, are always going to want to drink. So
Not
he
going
knew
anywhere. In the middle of the
really,
depression, people were still paying for alcohol
yeah,
because we help you survive.
yeah. Every culture has some type of, I don't want to just say vice, but they have something that they go to for relief or
Hmm.
escape.
Yeah.
It's just really a matter of respecting it so that you're not abusing it at the end of the day.
Hmm.
So
Yeah, exactly.
I feel that.
Me too. Because anything can be abused. I mean,
Exactly. I can eat a ton of, well, I don't eat bananas, but I can eat a ton of bananas and like,
and OD on potassium, that's a real thing to be
yep.
overdosed on potassium.
Yep.
It's an actual medical problem. So
Mhm.
everything is like everything in moderation.
Yes. Like this one, I will not make any more. Actually, yeah, I could.
Well, I think you could sit and have one more and still be okay.
Mhm.
It's got enough juice that I think it'll be okay.
Yeah, not too
That's
much
the thing
juice.
about that's the thing about tiki cocktails is that you can have a few and be all right
Yeah.
as long
Yeah,
as it's fresh ingredients. Because if it's like high sugar content, then you're fucked. But
right. But that's why I want to make my own of this because I
hmm
feel like I love you, B, but I feel like I
it's always
am.
better to make it. It's always better to make your own.
Yeah.
I agree with you. Even though there's some good ones, like Jafar makes a really good orgeat too.
B
Super
Reynolds.
sweet, but
Yeah, like corn sweeteners. Mm,
it's
yeah,
a nah for
but
me. Yeah,
yeah, yeah. But
no.
I wanted to. I was quickly trying to find something,
Hmm.
uh, which I failed. Right, like I want to make my own, but I was trying to do a post really fast because
Yeah,
I signed for this little post a day challenge, and
my best
so
friend was doing one of those.
yeah, so no, but I still got this as a result of it, and
Orgeat, you should always make a day, probably like the day before you're about to actually use it.
yeah, but that's the thing though. Like I did order it. I have my orange blossom water coming from Lebanon. Yeah,
Mm,
or at least it's made in Lebanon.
okay.
That's a whole nother process. Like if I wanted to do my own of that, that's just still orange blossom, right? And so
I want to make my own rose water, but I didn't realize it was that much of a process, and I gotta go buy like legit roses and like
yeah, and
make them food friendly and do all these things. I was like, okay, wait, I'll just buy it made and forget it.
yeah, and your little tiny pot distiller. Do I have to do that too? Because it is a distillate, right? I don't know.
I think the distillate don't give me the laugh. I think so, but I can't be sure.
Right. But if I really wanted to go down that road, yeah, it would be
Yeah,
possible. That's
it's
what we
it's a
can like.
road. Once you go down that road, you're going. You're committed.
But that's why I have next week to experiment without having deal with the 9 to 5. So I have
Yeah.
some time to experiment with some other things. So we'll
Nice.
see what happens.
Nice.
I'm excited. All
Yeah.
right.
So hope you have a
So,
great birthday week.
thank you. And I may not do anything major at all, but I think that's okay. I'm okay with that now.
Birthday's about doing what the hell you want to do. So
Yeah.
whether you decide to just lay around in your undies all day, that's your business.
And make more of these.
And drink more of those.
Um, what other thing? Oh, I forgot to mention. So I did get a chance to do something for Black History Month with Focus on Health. So Lauren Taylor,
Hmm.
Focus on Health, and the Blend by Beam Suntory. We
Yeah.
put together a wellness box because Focus on Health is all about wellness support
Hmm.
for the hospitality industry. And
Hmm.
so what she wanted to do was put together a wellness box with gifts and things from 9 Black thinkers and makers.
Hmm.
So you have that, and we still have a couple of boxes still available on our website. So that's what's scrolling down there at the bottom as well. So tell your friends. So few. But
Yeah,
yeah.
speaking of the blend, I actually just got I contributed to a couple of their best practices articles that they just put out. So definitely, if you're not already subscribed to the blend, definitely sign up for that. You got
Yep.
to be 21 or over. Um, yeah, that's really cool. Shout out to Cassandra and Capri for getting me into that fold. That was cool.
Yeah, when I learned about them and I went to the site at that time, and I probably missed it if cause I haven't been back in the last week, but there was a couple of, I guess, articles or at least a little project, I guess, about botanicals or at
Hmm.
least pulling from your garden and what to do with those different ingredients and things of that nature and how to like have your own little garden and kind of support your cocktail building. And
Hmm.
so it has some really cool content on there as well.
Yeah,
Yeah, definitely.
yeah, it's a cool site. I like it. I'm
Yep.
definitely I feel humbled to have been able to write something for them. So the writing
What?
thing is fun. It's very rare that I get to like do any writing as it relates to hospitality because that's one part of my degree I haven't gotten a chance to use in a while outside of like just the things I write for my own website. But being able to write for someone else is
Do
it's nice. So
you like to write?
I love writing. I've been writing since as long as I can remember. I wrote like a whole 30 chapter book when I was like 8, just for fun when I was living in Germany and didn't have anything else to do because I couldn't understand the cable. I didn't speak German at that point. So yeah, I was just reading and writing all day. So
How do
yeah.
we, I'm sorry.
Hmm.
How does a person go down the German route? I didn't know about that. And then on top of that, I am looking for contributors to my mini magazine that goes to our box.
Oh,
I didn't know. All
hey,
right,
if you need writing done, I'm your girl.
because I started
I'm
this.
a multifaceted, multi-medium person over here. I'm all about the photos and the videos and the things, but I also am a very great writer. So yeah.
So that's why it's celebrating Black excellence every day, not just a month. There's so much.
That's what I'm saying. We're
So much.
not monochromatic people. We're not that literally. And then to give us the shortest month of the year, I just refuse to like give it all this emphasis when it's like you
Really?
gave us the shortest month of the year. I refuse to like. No, it should have been January. We started the shit. Let's start the year. Like I don't
Right.
understand. Like give me my 31 days then. I don't
I'm not
understand.
gonna take away from the beauty that I feel when I see February because it's my
Of
birthday month.
course, of
So,
course, of course. And
right.
it should be an absolutely beautiful month for you. Black excellence can be celebrated for all of the Black people who have February birthdays. It just should not be the month that is dedicated to celebrating us as a people
Right.
because we have contributed way more than 28 days worth of shit to celebrate.
Right. It's almost like,
And
all right,
therefore,
30 days go. Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Feel you on that.
But I digress. But
Well,
yes,
I'm
so yes,
excited.
writing is definitely a thing that I love. Yes.
Oh, girl, you just created a whole other revenue stream. People are going to hear that now.
Writing is a whole nother revenue stream.
Yes.
It's great.
Yes.
It is great. I would happily provide all of the writing content that is desired.
Hold on. I'll be right back. Hold on.
Okay.
Honey, come here.
I wish I could see comments and participators and things. I can't see stuff from my side.
So, I know you helped me with my video series, but I
Yep.
don't know that you knew about the mini magazine that I wrote, this whole thing.
I did not know about the new magazine.
The, like, this light is not good for this. All right. Closer. That doesn't
That's only
help.
because it's shiny and it's quality
Light.
material. That's
Oh,
why.
here you go. There you go.
I see
There.
though. Yeah.
All right. So that's my summer edition. This and the autumn are digital as well.
Mm-hmm.
But I somehow, for whatever reason, so that goes back to the respect factor and the background factor in terms of, yes, I've tasted, I've played with these ingredients that I put in the box.
Mm-hmm.
But then on top of that, I want to know more about the process behind it and the people behind it.
Mm-hmm.
And so that is how this came to be.
Okay.
So you might see somebody you know. Hold on.
Oh, I'm sure.
Hold on.
Oh wait, I can't tell who that is from here.
Uh-oh.
I see his side profile, but I can't tell who it is just because it's far away.
Adrian Blue
Adrian.
Hen.
Adrian. Oh, got it. Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I don't know Adrian personally, but one of my good friends, Mimi, she's like really close to her and does a lot of work with Blue Henry.
Mimi.
Yeah.
Mix it
Mimi
by.
Evans. Barmy Mimi mixing Mimi mixology.
She did a session on Uncle.
Uncle Nearest. Yep.
Yeah, for the Fill in the Gap program
Yep.
with the
Mm-hmm.
boxes.
Yep.
That was awesome. I told them it was so good. She did 3 cocktails throughout the process.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Trying to open. So all of this has come out as a result of. I feel like it's a second renaissance or like some type of thing that happened because I just started writing. It didn't stop. Where is my picture?
Those are the best moments.
This
Ah.
was so important to do. It's the Black Hands. That
Mm-hmm.
is a specific person.
Ah, okay.
But I thought it was important because even in the hospitality or mixology realm, you know, your high-end bartender, people don't typically view them as also including Black people.
Mm-hmm.
And so in this one, my good friend, I got to feature her. Where is my spread? Here we go. I got to feature her in here because I got her signed book.
Shannon. Why did I know those hands? I should have said it.
I know, right?
I fucking knew it was Shannon's hands.
Yes, I'm telling you.
Why do I know these things? That's really odd that I recognize her knuckles of all things because I don't even know her that well, but I definitely recognize
Right,
her hands. Maybe because I have a cocktail book and I've seen enough pictures of them that I'm like, I know those knuckles.
right. But it was just so important when I did that section. And so I do interviews with these people if I have the chance. If they have the time, we have interviews. And that might actually become a podcast at some point because they're recorded as well. But building out not just here's a bottle of ingredients, but here are the people behind them. That's what this is. And I'm thinking
That's
about
one thing I would like to do is kind of like feature interviews and be able to write about those, like talk to specific people and get like have those type of conversations and write about it. That's one thing I would definitely like to do. I'm going to go ahead and manifest it right now and just
that
throw it
means
out there.
does that mean you might be on the roster?
I like that. Okay.
You might be on the roster.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool.
But yes, so that's and
Sweet.
it's Omi. So Omi means water in Yoruba. Water is the element of all life and the base element of all libations. Be well.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my baby.
I love it.
So yes, so I'm
I love
excited.
it.
I'm
Yeah,
really
that's
excited.
cool.
Okay.
You should be. You doing some exciting stuff.
But I'm excited to know that you like to write as well.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So we'll work that out.
Cool. Works for me.
Awesome.
Oh, we already approaching an hour.
Oh yeah, I have gone beyond the
Anyway.
15 minutes. They kind of happen, but I think it's okay. I think it's fine. People watch these actually, so it's good. I think it's good. All right. Any last words or quotes to live by for our listeners?
I'll just say my new favorite quote that I'm like living by right now for all of my people with inescapable anxiety. How do you eat an elephant?
Hmm.
One bite at a time.
Okay. Take your
So
time.
nothing is ever as big as it feels.
Mm.
Hmm.
Take your time.
Just
You'll
narrow
get
it down to your step by steps. Get your bullet points together. Take a breath. You eat an elephant a bite at a time.
that's a good one. I love it.
It helps me so much.
Yeah. Like just keep going, but if you need to take a break, take a break.
Just keep going. Just keep taking a bite. That's all you gotta do. Wait for it to
Yeah.
digest, fine, but then you take the next bite.
Yeah. Well,
Hmm.
Dee, I appreciate you so much. Thank you for starting off our season 2.
Yeah, welcome. I didn't even know I was starting it off. I feel special.
Yeah, very.
You never
And
forget the first,
I think
so yes.
learn some more new things about you. Really happy about
Yeah.
that. And we will be talking soon about some writing
Yes.
opportunities as well.
Yes, I'm here
Yeah,
for it.
yeah, exciting. All
Me
right.
too.
Well, thank you so much. Oh, we are right at 1 hour and a minute. So yeah, it's time to go to
Hmm.
bed. So thank you so much again. I will make
Thank you
sure
for
you
having
get
me.
the Chocolate City's best scholarship information
Yes.
and the. I'm gonna go look for the blend article for me as well because I am in
Yes.
the.
On the Blend website, you go to their service well, and that's where all their best practices articles can be found.
Awesome. All right. I bid you adieu. Thank you so much and have
All
a
righty. Thank you for having me.
good.
Peace.